Hey guys, welcome to the land of Wall Street Bets, the land with no limits where people loss a fortune and make a fortune in one call. Today we gonna see some insane posts from r/Wall Street Bets. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to see more. Why I'm thankful that I lost $153,598. I finally did it. I took today's bounce on Tesla as an opportunity to cut my losses, get the hell off this roller coaster. Over the last month, I managed to gain about $120,000 from Tesla alone, and then promptly lost $153,000 in the last week. Big oof. Hindsight being 20/20, it's easy to see what I should have done. I knew, or at least expected Tesla to fall, but what I did not expect was the absolutely crushing blow that was dealt. The beginning of the decline started off as me selling bull put spreads at the 420 strike when the price of the underlying was over 520. Just like I had done all the way up the mountain. I gave myself a decent cushion, or so I thought. I even managed to roll my positions down to 380 for a credit by pushing them out to October. Perhaps there will be another run-up and it will be over that strike by then. Perhaps not. I also should have cut my losses after dropping $40,000 in the first day of this sell-off. But no, I had to hang in there to see if it would go back up. Nope, just more down. Thankfully I have not touched my initial capital and was able to get out before that happened, but I've essentially reset myself back to square one. I am still up for the year, about $30,000. Just enough to cover the $21,000 in options fees I have racked up so far, and a small withdrawal to pay off a credit card that I took out about 2 months ago. Of course, I still get to pay taxes on that. As for the being thankful, I've learned some valuable, and very expensive lessons. Always protect your capital and don't let yourself get wiped out. Cut losses early and look for another play. It's extremely hard to win your money back in this casino when you're out of chips. Sometimes it is extremely easy to make money in the market, and it sure makes it difficult to want to work a regular job when you're bringing in $10 to $20,000 per day. It is also just as easy to lose your ass. Thankfully, this loss will not change my life in the slightest. I only invest/YOLO money that I can afford to lose, though that never means that I want to. In my eyes, paying 21 grand for options fees is way more stupid than losing $153,598. Are there other stable platforms besides RH that offer free options? I've lost money on my RH account twice now from being unable to close positions because their platform was overwhelmed. I am hesitant to use them as my primary account. That being said, making more of a profit for TDA than myself so far this year does sting a bit. Can relate, brother. Was killing it, got cocky, levered myself to the tits along the way, and lost just about everything I'd gained and then some in the last couple of days. Was a couple of points away from getting margin called and liquidated, so today was a saving grace. I'm at break even right now, not sure if I should close it all out and call it quits for a bit. It's pretty painful to throw in the towel considering the money I've just wasted. Fug. I've switched to selling covered calls and cash secured puts on stock I can afford to own outright. Mostly stuff in the travel sector that will recover eventually, and I'm not opposed to holding long term, unless they announce a bankruptcy or something. At least until I find the next good opportunity. I will be much more cautious moving forward. I know that's not really the name of the game around here, but who cares? At the end of the day, you're the one paying your bills. Spreads are dangerous. Most people don't understand the reduced buying power effect, and naturally load way too many contracts with spreads than the margin really is safe for, if assigned or otherwise. That's why I mostly use only naked options, that way the buying power reduction is more realistic. Oh, and I try to keep 50% of my BP free for SHTF situations. You are absolutely right. I could have made $1 million at one point on the shorts, if only I had 15 million or so in capital to let the long strikes get assigned. Then just sat on it for 10 years. Unfortunately, I was way out in the deep end and obviously could not do that in this situation. I still had about $50,000 worth of BP left, but I honestly don't think it would have made a difference though. Always protect your capital and don't let yourself get wiped out. Felted. Cut losses early and look for another play. Live to play another day is a very important lesson to learn early. Nobody gets them all right. 10 small losses can be made up with one large gain, but you can't play poker without some chips. I'm on the boat, brudda. YTD, I cleared nearly $75,000 plus in realized gains. Messed with a penny stock and didn't take profits, was plus $45,000 on realized gain just on that penny stock alone. It promptly crashed. I lost nearly $30,000 each on ATI5 and 5BIV. And then a lot of random losses, $3 to $6,000 here and there since July. My remaining positions are red. Let's see the next post. Just got a job at Wendy's. After living paycheck to paycheck the past couple of years, I finally got a job at Wendy's, and one of my important duties is deep frying chicken nuggets. My goal is to save 50% of my income at Wendy's and invest in Zoom and GameStop put options. It's finally my time to shine, and I'm going to deep fry nuggets to success. Wait, so you were living paycheck to paycheck, now work at Wendy's, and somehow think you won't be living paycheck to paycheck anymore? I had the same question, then realized he probably been working at Goodwill as part of a job training program for the mentally challenged, so was only making about 14 cents an hour. For a guy like this, Wendy's nugget cook is a big step up in life. Next step, potty training. I for one am rooting for him. No, thugnificent, it's that I only make, like, $8.15 per hour on this place is, like, so I did the math, and that means I'd have to work, like, 82 hours a day. So I went in, asked the manager for some overtime, and he said, he couldn't do it cause it's against company policy. You just started here. Who you think you are? Be lucky with the hours that you get. Cindy's pregnant and she has to work. I was like, but Cindy, I figure maybe I could work 2 jobs at the same time. Maybe I could be on the phone doing some telemarketing, and work on, like, some art and sell art out of the back of Wendy's. I went from working fast food to multi-millionaire. A job is a job, as you need cash flow to improve your life, so glad you are working. Make a budget so you are saving half your pay, invest the rest. Educate yourself on human behavior, you need other people to be successful. Read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. On how the stock market works, simply understanding Warren Buffett is a great start. Nowadays you can just type his name in YouTube and learn a lot. Real estate investing, learn and do not pay some guru any money to learn from him online. Just join some real estate groups in your local area, and by using your new social skills strike up a conversation. Heck, just saying congrats on your success, do you mind me asking how you did it? You will not stop talking and give you free advice. Figure out how to move up in your career. Could you own a Wendy's? Yes. If that's what you want, it is possible. But figure out what you want, then learn how to make it happen. Whether it's entrepreneurship, corporate ladder, or whatever. Hope this helps. This was my first job ever. I was in charge of nuggets, fries and the deep fried chicken patties in the pressure cooker. It was a great time because I was young and they paid well, relatively. I look back on those times fondly, making $12 an hour and smoking doobies in the parking lot before work, during break and after work. I would give up everything to go back to those simpler times. Life was good back then. Congrats on the job, homie. No matter where you work, give it your best because you never know who's watching, and opportunities can come from places you'd least expect. My brother had a messy paying job as a video game tester for EA, but always showed up and worked hard, and one of the managers who left there, ended up bringing him over to Facebook, where he got 4,000 shares when they IPO'd. You just never know when an opportunity is going to present itself. Changing the world one nugget at a time. I really cringe about the entire changing the world idea. It's people who need to change, and we don't have any way to change who the elites are or have any influence on their psychopathic tendencies. So no chance to change anything. Let's see the next post. Brothers, the time has come for the ultimate YOLO. $780,000 619 SPX 1500P. Fellow artists. Today, I place my life in the hands of the almighty market. Behold, $780,000 thrown into 456.19 SPX 1500P. It pains me to say this, but I have the utmost confidence that this virus and the economic crisis arising from it will bring America to the brink of collapse. I believe this thesis so strongly that I'm willing to lay down everything to pursue it. To all the bears in this sub, who have valiantly held their puts with iron resolve, I say this: don't doubt your vibe. To all the bulls in this sub, I say, may God have mercy on your soul. I've heard the saying I would follow that man into hell and never quite understood that sentiment. Then I read this post. He's following us. He saw us getting stepped on like the cockroaches we are and stood up like a gay knight with a G-string on. I've never felt so confident in my positions. That's some bet. And your sentiment is correct. Collapse is imminent, and I'd say you've given yourself just enough time. There is no way the market is representing true value, what with price discovery having been thrown out the window with what the Fed is doing. For you to win, though, would mean that the Fed's gambit has failed, and so too their fiat currency, the one you're betting with. Very respectable, sir. I salute you. You may want to consider rolling some of these into spreads. For example, using today's prices for 619 SPX puts, you should realize that SPX will need to reach 1150 before your 619 SPX 1500P at expiration yields more than a 619 SPX 1475/1500P debit spread that reached 1475 SPX at expiration. SPX will need to reach 1084 before your 619 SPX 1500P yields more than a 619 SPX 1400/1500P debit spread that reached 1400 SPX at expiration. If sub 1100 SPX June targets sound reasonable, you're all set. Don't change a thing. Otherwise, you might want to consider rolling some of these into spreads so that you have a mix of payouts yields that will perform under a couple different scenarios. I have no idea what is going on here, but it appears this hail fellow well-met guy is betting a good sum 780,000 that on June 19, 2020, that the Chicago Options Exchange will be 35% off today's price, which if it follows the Dow Jones Industrial Average will be about 50% off of February's record highs. For us uninitiated, please fill us in on what kind of schedules are available to our protagonist should he find himself in the money, as they say come start of summer. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to give your opinion in the comment box. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll never miss any video.